Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the BBO NYG Podcast. I'm Mike, that's Jules. Special guest Vin is joining us again. He's becoming like a regular Jules. Like we can't get rid of this guy, you know. John,
I'm sorry, I'm like a disease.
He's that concerned about the Giants that he has to like just get out and get it out every week now.
It's a good venting session.
Maybe John will be on a little while, who knows? But man, I tell you what, this Giant team is gonna give me a heart attack or something because I'm just drinking like a maniac on Sundays. That dude, I had no idea. Like I looked on my credit card statement. Apparently, I ordered Chipotle at like 4:45 on Sunday. I had no recollection I ordered it, getting it delivered, or eating it. So the Giants are really like destroying my life. But speaking of the Giants, I want to surprise you guys with a question about the Giants.
We'll just start off with questions, right?
Where I think everything went wrong. You know where I think everything went wrong is the day Mara fired Tom Coughlin. Tom Coughlin walked down the steps, did not shake hands with Mara. And in the press conference, Tom Coughlin said, Eli Manning, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like that Ben Affleck movie and shit. It's not your fault, Eli, you know? And give me a hug. It was like, since that day forward, it's been an absolute disaster. I think Mara at that time chose Odell Beckham in a way because he's like, oh, I want a player's coach, more relatable. Tom's getting too old. Right there, it's just been really downhill, man. It's very frustrating. Do you think where do you pinpoint it?
So you don't want to use the obvious one, the fucking whole Miami boat fucking incident?
That's a good one too.
I mean, because like, don't forget that team was a pretty decent seed. You know, we were, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure we were favored against Green Bay.
Was that McAdoo's first year? Was that McAdoo's first year?
Yeah, I think so. It had to be, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, he goes to the playoffs, even though they got embarrassed or whatever. You know, that's when he comes back with the fresh suit, the fresh haircut. And we lost Vince, so I don't know. We might have to pause here for a minute.
Vince started crying when I asked the question. He's like, "Oh my God, that's it. That's the day."
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go fact check myself and my feelings.
Poor bastard. He's like, "Oh my God, they're talking about Bryce Young now being a quarterback of the Giants. I can't take it no more."
Listen, I also don't want to believe in any of that bullshit, right? Because actually, if you do, it's not a terrible thing either, right? Because you know, like the Red Sox, they sucked for 86 years or whatever the fuck it was, and right,
long time.
Fucking selling of Babe Ruth, right? You know, so I don't want to get into that. You know, there's a lot of those hexes, but a lot of that seems to be more in baseball, right? And I don't necessarily believe that exists in football, but maybe it does in all those sports, right? I don't fucking know. What do I know when it comes to that kind of shit?
The curses are real.
It might be. So it could be the Tom Coughlin curse. It could be the Miami fucking speedboat curse. It could be, you know, I don't know. A lot of, fortunately, on bad luck, you know, just bad luck. I mean, but the reality is this, and I got a quick question to throw back to you. What would you rather have? Would you rather have this misery that all these Giants fans are absorbing and the last 10? Oh my God. And you just hear the belly aching over and over and over. Bro, what would you rather have, though? Would you rather have a 30-year period or maybe 30-plus year period of you having maybe, let's throw out, I'm just going to throw out some random numbers, having won the NFC East 12 times out of those 30 years, have only had maybe a losing record 5 times out of those 30 years, but over that time frame, you have not won a Super Bowl.
Dallas.
You know, hold on. Think about that for a minute, right?
Wow.
Would you rather have all that kind of success? You know, I'm the best team in the regular season. Oh my God, I'm so good. Look at my team with 2-0. And now when it gets after fucking a couple of weeks in the beginning of the season of fantasy football, right? They're fucking geniuses. They picked all the right guys and all that kind of shit. Would you rather have that kind of fool's gold success? Or would you rather be the dude that scraps through, doesn't look like he's gonna make it. All of a sudden, pops in the playoffs and fucking ends up winning the fucking thing and has a ring at the end of the day, right? You know what I'm saying? Because
Wow.
of course he gets asked to me all the time. I'm so curious. But, let's be real here. What would you prefer?
What I would prefer, to be honest, winning one title every 10 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It seems like we've been doing that because you know what? Because it makes it more exciting because it really comes out of nowhere for us. That's what the typical shit is. All of a sudden, we'll just have this fantastic year. We'll win a chip. We'll be pretty good like the next season, the following season, but somebody will shoot themselves in the foot, literally. And then all of a sudden, we just be back to like mediocre. It's just so crazy how that happened, with us. But yeah, I would rather like get a fucking title because Super Bowls, they remember. I don't remember Dallas winning a bunch of fucking NFC Easts. Doesn't matter to me. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'd rather that fucking title.
Off the top of your head, tell me how many fucking division titles, just off your top of your head, the Giants even have had in the last 30 years, right? I like one or two, I don't know, right? But I'm not gonna sit there and tell you exactly that they had 5 or they had 4, they had 3, whatever the fuck it is, doesn't matter. Right. Or any Cowboy fans gonna rattle up like we got 14. Yeah. Or Washington, we snuck in like 5 or 6. More than you. Cool, bro. But who's wearing the hardware on their fingers with that ring, and who's got the fucking trophy chilling on their fucking in their facility, right?
We did.
To me, that's what fucking matters. Look, like I know we always talk about fantasy and shit because you can relate like how fantasy football for those non-players that people don't get involved with it and make it show you how our mindset is when we go into doing these fantasy teams versus what reality is watching these teams, right? Because we have no say in them. I can't call fucking Mara tomorrow and tell him fucking do this or do that. Or, me and Dave will fucking have a chat every Wednesday afternoon. That shit don't happen. You know what I mean? So like, at the end of the day, we take that and put it in, project it into fantasy football. So here's my dilemma, right? The last couple of years, and we'll even take baseball, for example, because it's just wrapping up now as far as fantasy is concerned. And literally, dude, I had 2 number 1 seeds and 1 number 2. And one team that kind of squeaked into the playoffs. But 2 number 1 seeds. I'm in the semifinals in all 3 leagues. Well, I lost. That's it. It means nothing. Most points, fucking best record, all this shit.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. And
it
guess
means
what?
nothing. Nobody will remember you.
Backdoored into the fucking thing is in the championship game right now, and he might win it. And that's what's gonna fucking matter. So who gives a fuck? And I think the whole point of this whole fucking drawn out thing is that I think that people just they oh God, they're in the now and oh my God, all the media and all that. Oh God, I always feel sorry and fire the next coach and to the next one.
I know,
bro. Enough, yo. It might suck, and it might take a while, but that's just how shit's got to be, right? Like we're going through a rut, and it's a 10-year rut. Thank God it's not 30 years or 30 plus years of not winning a Super Bowl. So if you want to summarize this, trainer, because I go on my tangents, and we'll get Vin on board since he checked back in. He got over crying about the last question. And he was like, oh, God, fucking Tom Coughlin. I wish he was back, bro.
He was. Like, it was a great question, Ben. Jules pretty much said, like, what would you rather have? Like, a Super Bowl every now and then, or you want to be like a team like Dallas where they just win the NFC East a bunch of fucking times. They're winning, but maybe they have one losing season, but they never win a chip. And I'm just thinking about us for a sec, the Giants. Giants, like I answered the questions like I would rather the chip once every 10 years because it makes it more exciting. And basically, look at our 4 like Super Bowl teams we had. Back in the 80s with Phil Simms, Denver, making the most completions in a fucking Super Bowl. Unbelievable, right? He's going to Disneyland. And then all of a sudden, like the 90s with Hostel, we needed a backup quarterback to fill in for Phil Simms to win a fucking championship, right? And then the next time, we had to go against an undefeated New England team to win a fucking chip. And then the last time,
for a quick second,
it was crazy.
Second on the pause here, right? In between that Super Bowl with Jeff Hostetler, and before we got relevant to really, really get going again, was a good period of fucking time that we sucked. Like that we absolutely sucked. The Ray Hanleys of the world, the Dave Browns. That
17.
We went through it. We went
17 years.
You know what I'm saying? And then Eli came in with it. I mean, they had a couple of players. They had a good team with Tiki that one year. I get it. Like there was
they had a team.
10, 11 team. You know what I'm saying? But like for the most part, we went through a drought. If you go back to the 70s before Parcells got there, not that I know about it, but you read about it, you hear about it, you have relatives that went through it, right? They talk about it too. They were so fucking bad that that's half the reason why there's so many fucking Miami, San Francisco, and Dallas Cowboy fans in the fucking New York City metropolitan area. All right, because they just started getting bored of it and they started rooting for other fucking teams, right? So like, yo, there's been these kind of dead periods, and unfortunately, this Giants team is going through one right now.
And the fourth Super Bowl, Eli just had a terrific postseason, which just incredible, and just actually won us the title pretty much single handedly on his own. I would say. Vin, what do you think? What would you rather have?
Great question. I agree with you guys. I'd rather having had the Super Bowl win, because that's the whole point of this of the whole thing, you know. So I'd rather the Super Bowl win peppered once every decade. But the losing is low, and I agree with what Jules was just alluding to. That I think when they say the Giants storied franchise, I know we've been around for 100 years, which is a wonderful accomplishment. But Jules is right. There's been a lot of losing. You know what I mean? We've, you know, even older Mara, under Wellington Mara, we did a lot of losing in the 70s. Bill Parcells started off losing, and then he kind of put everything on the line, and that got LT in that draft, and then things kind of just picked up steam from there. And then you know, Belichick as defensive coordinator. Yeah, so this is just our rut. We're prisoners of the moment right now. But yeah, there were years in between those, you know, that Super Bowl, like after that 90, those when I became a fan, you know, because I'm a little bit younger.
Rub it in.
Yeah, just remember Dave Brown. Nick Graham was our quarterback. The guy was like 35, our quarterback. You know, we would make the playoffs here and there. And Chris Callaway dropped the ball against Minnesota. You know, like we had some good years. We've had some good players. Things started to pick up. I liked Jim Fossil. I thought the Fossil years weren't that bad. Took us to a Super Bowl.
College.
You know, he put his balls on the table after the Lions lost. He was like, "We're gonna make the playoffs. Mark my words." And then we went to the Super Bowl that year. You know what I mean? So I thought there was something there. Shockey. We started drafting. You know what? I loved Ernie Accorsi. I felt like that guy knew exactly how to evaluate talent, knew how to play this app. Like we were in good shape. We just, you know, we need that quarterback. And even getting an older Kurt Warner, you know, then, you know, the whole draft trade with Eli, you know, and Roethlisberger and Philip Rivers ended up being great players. But I'm glad with Eli. You know, Eli's the one that won 2 championships with the least amount of help. I'm looking at you, Roethlisberger. But yeah, so we were spoiled to have 2 Super Bowls in a 4-year span, which was unbelievable. And to beat that New England team and the way we did it, you know, with Victor Cruz as, you know, on the second run where, you know, he was off the practice squad. Like it was amazing and it was beautiful. It was great. But there's been a lot of losing. We're not a regular season type of team. We're a team that just got healthy, got hot. I'm hoping for lightning in a bottle. We started 0-2 for those championship runs, did we not? I thought we were 0-2. I don't think 0-2 was the death sentence.
You know, it's funny too.
You know, because with the extremes in the playoffs, I don't want to go.
A lot of those statistics are based off of a 16-game season. Now you have a 17th game, right? There's an extra game. So that 0-2 start, I don't know if it's as
that big of a deal
as it used to be, right? So, like, I think it's something along the lines of, like,
no, 0-3. 0-3 is the
you have, like, a 16% chance of making the playoffs. Yeah, with our 16-game schedule, 14 left. I don't know if that's the case if I have 15, right? That the percentage has to go up if you have an extra game, right? Like, it's an extra fucking handout. So, I don't know about that anymore. You know, it's just something to question. And it kind of just, like, it just rolled into it. Like, you know, and not only yeah, sorry, I don't know. You broke up there for a minute, so I didn't hear what you said. But you know, one other drought too, right? The Giants, being this historic franchise, they were dominant in what, the 50s and a good part of the early 60s, right? When they were winning those NFC championship games, the greatest game ever played in Yankee Stadium and all the shit. And then they went on a drought. You know what I mean? So, like, guys going through that whole era. Think about it, right? So, like, you know, again, you know, not to keep beating a dead horse, but what I'm trying to say is that, like, I don't know if there's any jinx. I don't know if there's any way to fix it. Of course, it'll get better because, like my father always used to say, when I would make fun of the Red Sox that they would go on. It was fucking like 80 fucking 4 years and they didn't win a fucking thing. He would go like, listen, they're professionals. These are pro teams that are in big markets. Eventually, they're gonna get good. Eventually, something's gonna happen. Eventually, something's gonna break for them, and eventually, they're gonna win, right? And you know, like you look at some of these other teams, like shit. Buffalo's been around since what, the '60s? They haven't even won a Super Bowl. All right, the Jets, the last time they fucking won, it was in '69, dude. I mean, like, so, like, you know, what are we gauging this off of? Sure, everybody wants to be the current Kansas City Chiefs back to back. They're gonna three-peat because the NFL wants it so bad. I'm gonna say it every week until the fucking playoffs and Super Bowl. But you know what I mean? Like 100%, right? Everybody wants to fucking feel like, you know, the 49ers and Detroit was a good story. Sure, they're great. And those fan bases are loving it. But you know what? Like, it doesn't mean anything because only one fucking team is going to win at the end of the day. All right, and it don't matter what their record is. It doesn't matter how they get there. Whoever the fuck is in that Super Bowl has got a 50% chance, just like the other team across the fucking field, that can win that game. And that's all that matters. And that's all people are really gonna fucking remember at the end of the day. You know what I mean? As long as we don't go 0-17 and some fucking record that we're the first team to go 0-17, we're kind of okay. All right, like enough already with this. It's driving me nuts, man. And you know what? I guess we'll get into the game in a few. Vin, go ahead. You know, because we got.
No. I just want to. I agree with you, Trainer. I think when we fired Coughlin, I think that's where it began. I really do.
Not the Miami Bowl show.
No, that we saw way before then. We saw it way before.
Right.
You know, like the whole Ben McAdoo show and all of it was just how we left Jerry Reese and Odell Beckham, and we wanted to move on from Coughlin. Like Eli was sitting there, like that press conference was heartbreaking, and real Giant fans knew this is a mistake. Marion making a mistake, and he wouldn't even shake his hand like a boss. Coughlin went out like a boss. You know what I mean? He was a lame duck. They wouldn't give him the contract, and then they let him go. Like despicable from an organization that should have a lot more class than that. A lot more class than that.
But at the time, I always used to say that they should have. In that case, they really wanted to kind of push him out as being the HC. They should have given him some kind of job within the organization, like a VP this, you know, like or the the GM's right hand man, or even the GM for that matter.
He's too prideful, Jules. He wasn't going to accept that.
Well, like if you make it like a promotion, you know what I mean. You pay the guy, you still fucking paying him. He's still part of the organization. He's still got a big hand in everything.
But he's a head coach.
Like fresh blood on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Ben, I told Jules before. I thought like they kind of sided with Odell Beckham. They wanted like the young players coach. Like
it sucked.
It almost seemed that way, and it was just a bad move, man. And then it led to this where we're living right now.
And you know what? They always say study history because history repeats itself. I'd love to actually go back and see what like kind of changed at the end of those NFC championship runs, what changed at the end of the fucking 80s, what changed after the end of the fucking present ones, you know? Well, obviously we're talking about that now, but you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if there's some sort of weird pattern there as well. You know what I mean? Where I guess like at the end of the championships, but it wasn't as if we had any choice in the matter, right? Because, you know, they had Tom Landry and Vince Lombardi as their offensive and defensive coordinators. Those guys went on and got bigger jobs. Like,
very true.
You know what I mean? And became legendary coaches in their own right? So, you know what I mean? So, like, I guess that was part of the drought there. You know what? I always say this, lucky. When it comes to football, the number one thing, fuck quarterback, fuck you know how much money you spend in the free agents and the drafts and the this and the that. To me, the number one thing is always coaching. It's always fucking coaching. It's always coaching. It's always coaching. There's no doubt about it. This is the one of the few sports that I say coaching fucking makes a huge difference. Period. Stop. And I'm not saying anything that Dable's done or he can't do it or he's not ready. He's this, that, blah, 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 blah. I'm not, but it is something that does stand out. And I can't say that one coach is going to come in here tomorrow and he's going to fucking fix it overnight because I don't think that's the answer either. There's too many fucking holes in this team as is. But the crazy shit is, and this is where I wanted to really touch on the fucking game, is I text you guys in the group chat on Sunday basically saying that as soon as I saw fucking Gano get hurt,
it was over.
Opening play of the game, I was texting all you guys and said, shit, we might be in trouble. We just lost our second best offensive player right now. And I was like, oh, I'll do it again, whatever. And what happened? We went the whole fucking game without a kicker. And let this settle in your head for a hot second. All the bullshit that's being said, how much they suck, and Daniel Jones this and Daniel Jones that. You mean to tell me that Graham Gano doesn't make 3 extra points? I'm pretty fucking sure he does, right? All of a sudden, we go from 18 to 21. And then when we have to set up your boy Neighbors, that train I know you wanted to talk a little bit about, because he drops that 4th down pass after having a fucking game of his life, after fucking having one of the best games until Marvin Harris Jr. goes off at 4 o'clock of any rookie this year, right? And all of a sudden, he drops that 4th down pass. The reality is we should have been in that. We should have needed to go for it on 4th down because we were on like the 20-something fucking yard line. Gano comes in, kicks a fucking field goal, and we go up 6. Now you got to come down the field and fucking score on us, Mr. fucking Daniels, and beat us, all right, bitch? And that don't happen. And guess what? If we did have him there and we did have a kicker, we're fucking in first place.
And Devin Singletary fumble too, which was another one.
All right, but I'm just saying. So, guys, come on. I think like you got to put that into perspective. You know, that's why I put up optimistic Jules. Maybe. I ain't mad like I was last week when we were on the field and that shit looked fucking like we were lost.
Now I get it.
You said we always beat up on Washington, and we need. You didn't want to back in. You want to get pulled back in.
Yo, listen, I know that our defense is still in question, so I'm going to give it like one more week, okay? I don't like the fact that we gave up every big play when they needed it. I don't like the fact that they carved us apart running the football. You know what I mean? We had like 5 or 6 sacks, and they still did that. I mean, look, there was a record. I believe it to be pretty fucking true. It's like out of 11,000 games, anytime a team scores three more touchdowns than their fucking opponent, they always win that game until this past Sunday.
Always.
You know, that's it. It was an undefeated stat until this past fucking Sunday. Out of 11,000 times that a team scored 3 more touchdowns than the opposing team, that they won. That's it. It was an undefeated stat until this past Sunday. I mean, everybody's like, oh, it's
only
like,
us.
Yo, the crazy just that had to happen for this shit to actually happen. All right. So yeah, you know what it is? We have a bad taste in our mouth from last season. Week 1, we look like absolute dog shit in Minnesota, against Minnesota. And then this week we come out and the impossible basically happens.
We couldn't force them to punt. We couldn't force them to punt, not once. Our offense scored 3 touchdowns on our only 5 possessions or whatever the fuck it was. That's insane. And how do you lose that game? It makes no sense. I'm like, then I look at all the NFL teams that played like this week. I think it's only 3 favorites won. Washington, the Jets, and somebody else. Everybody else was underdogs and they just won outright, which is just insane. I don't know anymore about fucking football. I really don't. I thought I knew everything, but apparently I don't. Because I don't
wait, Mike. Who did win to go to 2-0 on a controversial play at home? And I told you that shit was going to come down to the wire, and they didn't even fucking cover.
KC, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Why? Because they want the 3-peat. But anyway, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
It's crazy. That's it. I got nothing else to say about that game. I don't even want to talk about that game, to be honest with you. Just frustrating. They just find a way. Like, you know, what's inevitable is probably Bill Belichick going to be our next coach next year. Just the way it's going. I just see it. It's like almost written in the stars for him to come back.
I
don't know.
I think that's the case.
I don't think he wants it.
Giants. He does not like
to go to one of these like teams like that don't have this up and coming coach, but like, you know, like Dallas or something, right? Like if McCarthy falls on his fucking face, which he probably will after they
Belichick would never go
by the Saints. Belichick would go there because the pieces are in place. He'd get the right free agent to come in.
You know how much he loves the Giants?
Huh?
He would never go there, Jules. He loves the Giants so much in his heart that he would never go to Dallas or Philly. No way. Or the Jets.
I think we're forgetting that Belichick wants to break the record for most wins for a coach. I think he's like 8 games away from doing that. And I think that's really what's burning him, what he wants to come back and do. And he'll take any job. I think he's becoming desperate. Seeing him on TV is a desperate move for me. I don't know. I look down on him.
He was on the Manning cast yesterday.
He's going to be Phil Jackson next. That's what it's going to be. He's a little weird, you know, like what did he do after Brady? Think about it. He made Matt Patricia his offensive coordinator. He drafted Mac Jones. Like a lot of stuff was just a little eerie. His offensive draft picks were horrific. They were just like like nobody was even looking at these guys. He was taking them in like the second round. It was
Yeah,
atrocious.
he went a little crazy. I got to be honest with you.
He's a
He
little
went a little
kooky now.
nuts.
And it's like the whole text message to Brian Flores, like, did he do that on purpose or is he going senile? Like, I just found him. I don't know. I feel like he comes to the Giants, it'll be a disaster. I don't know why. I just don't. I wish it was 5 years ago. Like now.
Remember when he left the woman's apartment half naked in the middle of Boston? That was all over like TMZ. I'm like, yo, bring him here in New York. He'll fit right in with us.
He's dating like a 24-year-old. So like maybe he is trying to get like alive again. He's like, yo, this shit's hot, bro. I'm gonna bring my hot girlfriend that's 24 to New York and we're gonna run shit.
That's his mojo right there. That's what he needs. That's what his fucking mojo is.
And being real fast.
I would hope there's other candidates that we.
Don Shula won 347 and Belichick sits at 333. So he's actually a little bit
14.
Yeah, 14.
Oh, okay. I thought it was closer.
15 to pass.
He could win that in 2 seasons with the Giants.
So that's what's driving him. Honestly, I think he's done it all in this league. I think he's trying to be number one. You know,
maybe.
I mean, yo, that would kind of stick it to Brady, wouldn't it? Right? Like all the bullshit talk and all the fucking this, that, you know, everybody forgets that Bill Parcells never won a Super Bowl without Belichick. Yeah, all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? People
that's a great Jules, that's a great point. I don't know if like young Vin knows this because he's so much younger than us, but Bill Belichick was the assistant coach of Bill Parcells when the Giants won the Super Bowl. Did you know that?
Coordinator, I know that. Come on. Come on.
I know he likes to rub it in against us, being Jules the old man on this podcast.
Just because I said it. I don't remember 86. 90, I remember. 86, I don't. I wish.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I remember like because that's when I first became a Giant fan. Actually, I was like a little kid, you know, and I seen it. I was like, oh my god, I want to go to Disneyland like Phil Simms. Phil Simms was my guy. He was my idol growing up. Like I still got his jersey. Right, I wore it the first week. It's an Apex jersey. I don't know what the fuck Apex is.
Love it.
Yeah, it's like I'm like Apex. I'm like, where'd this company fucking go? You know? And yeah,
I think they got bought over by like Reebok or something, but
yeah, out or something.
It still fits, which is just amazing.
No, it don't.
That shit since like 80.
You didn't let yourself go. You kept yourself fit. Look at that.
Yeah, ever since he was fucking a young little boy.
Right. Yeah, and so you got to see me on Sundays trying to squeeze into that fucking bad boy.
Wears his ass a bandana now.
It's like a man's ear. It's like a man's
ear. Around his head. He's like, look, you can still see it says it.
I love it.
It's like the bro. Yeah, so I got nothing really to say about the Washington game. Obviously, everybody knows we blew it. Disaster. I thought like the one bright spot was Neighbors. He caught everything pretty much thrown his way. And what I liked about him, he did drop that pass, but you know what? He went on. He said he was like felt sorry for the veterans on the team. He put the blame, his loss on himself for everybody that was knocking him before he got drafted, after he got drafted, which me like a little bit, included. Like I seen Francesa say some shit. And I tell you what, for him to stand up and say that shows a lot of something about him being like a team player. That's the kind of guys I want on my team. That's going to be pissed that they made a mistake or had a bad drop or a dumb penalty. They're going to be really mad and upset. Like he was on the bench, like pretty much his head down, almost in tears. Dable had to come up to him and like shake him like, hey, it's okay. Mistakes happen. Like he was really upset. I got to give that fucking young kid credit.
I forgot who it was pointed it out that like that throw should have been made maybe like a second sooner. He was like falling out of bounds. There's no reason. Just fucking hit the dude in the numbers, man.
Yeah, but
it was a fucking very catchable pass.
He had his hands on it. He had both hands on it.
And it went right through. I mean, it's supposed to be caught. It's supposed to be.
I don't know. Let me ask you guys, what do you guys think of Daniel Jones?
Look fine to me. Look, I mean three touchdowns on 5. I'm 6
turnovers. Had a decent game running. He did everything he could to put the Giants in position to win. You know what? I still want to see more than 20 fucking 4 points, man.
Can I give you a fun fact, Jules?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones right now, after week 2, he's top 4 of the most drop passes in the NFL. I mean, that hurts.
Yeah, but some of that some of that goes back to Minnesota. And some of those passes, like I guess because they went off the fucking top of their fingertips, they consider that a drop
It was
pass.
a lot. It was a lot.
That shit was fucking like literally like doing Wendell was about to jump on fucking Malik Neighbors' shoulders to try to catch it.
Like an excuse. We are done making excuses for Daniel.
Yeah, for real, exactly.
No more excuses.
I mean, you guys might, but I'm not.
Cannot do it with this guy anymore. What 6-7 years now? We can't say, oh, if you had a better block. I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
Now, do you want this Bryce Young kid now that he's got bench?
Oh, so you want to jump into that conversation first before we get into that, because I feel like that became like a Tuesday morning type conversation. And you know, just real quick, we're gonna get into that in a moment. Though this whole trade rumor bullshit that's been started up between some fucking morons online. All right, we're gonna get into it, but like basically, Vin, are you familiar with what's going on with this?
Not exactly. I know
Okay.
Ben
All right.
connection with the John.
Well, first I just wanted to drop something before we get into it. It's gonna the whole thing is this trade that involves Bryce Young, who just got fucking basically benched out in Carolina. All right. We're gonna get to that in a minute because that's just total fucking nonsense. And I already feel like we almost wasted too much time on it. But one other thing I just wanted to bring in was after that game, you know, the neighbors drop, all this bullshit. I turn on Monday Night Football and I'm gonna bring up fantasy again because fuck it. We have enough fantasy teams between us that I could do that. And knowing that I needed Jalen Hurts to really fucking be Jalen Hurts. And I told you guys, I took this shit for a reason so that I can sit there and not fucking pull my hair out watching that Monday night game. Instead, I got some rooting interest. I needed Jalen Hurts to do shit. And he started to. And there was absolutely nothing better than seeing them on that goal line and them having the balls to go for it. And it was like, you know what? This play worked so good before. It would have been a touchdown if I would have just hit this motherfucker in the numbers. And what does Jalen Hurts do? Drops back, goes a perfect strike to Saquon. No, Saquon Barkley drops the ball.
Oh, big smile. Ear to ear
so good.
I love that Saquon. He drops balls. I said it all the time. I said it in the chat.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Drops, passes left and right. And I heard he was a jerk to the media too. Oh, Saquon.
Initially, but then apparently, like, you know, he made the statement because he's got to keep up that, you know, I'm such a good golden boy, nice guy persona. Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
He's not McCaffrey.
You know?
But
I had to put that there because it was fantastic. And then to see that there was enough time left on the clock fucking my man Cousins coming down the fucking field. Oh, it couldn't have been a better fucking game, dude. You see, so Monday starts. I know it's still part of the fucking week too, but it's still a new week. All right, like fuck that shit. I'm coming in high because I was like, hell, fucking yeah, dude. Fuck you guys.
I gotta tell you, Philly's got all the talent in the world, but they got a lot of personality, a lot of issues. I think Sirianni's a jerk in every way.
He's another personality, like you just said. Like,
you got to see the faces he makes on the sideline.
Oh, dude.
Helen Moore. Oh my God, Vic Fangio's up top. I think they're going. I'm always high on Philly because I just love the talent. I heard the D tackle from Georgia. I heard he showed up late to practice.
Oh, really?
So they backed him. I'm like, yo, they're a mess. AJ Brown is gonna start chirping. They're a total mess. And
he's hurt. He might be out like in another week or two.
Right.
I mean, he's not even healthy. Hey, dude, like you said, nothing was great because I swear they were stroking Barkley fucking cock so hard after that fucking first game in fucking Brazil, where people falling down left and right. And the funny shit was too, though. A lot of these announcers from Troy Aikman to Matt Ryan, because I was watching both simultaneously, you know, as many as I could. All you keep hearing saying, you know, Saquon can stay healthy. Saquon can stay healthy. You know what? One thing that he keeps under wraps because he doesn't really let his emotions really come out on the field. But that guy, I'm telling you, and I've been saying this for years, and that's why I did not want to keep him, is that you could see his play diminish at points in the game. And not just because of him getting tired or being a little nicked up. Just that he's like, fuck, they called this play. I'm gonna fucking run into the line for fucking 1 yard. Why? I would see that shit a lot with the Giants, where you could see like, yo, they ain't running as hard as he can. They just spend like a 3/4 speed just to kind of go into the line and fucking let me tackle. And I'm telling you, he's got this too that he's got to work on. So it's not only just him physically being healthy, it's him staying mentally healthy. if he's gonna have this fucking MVP
Also,
year.
also Saquon, who, other than the fumble, which was costly, Singletary looked awesome.
Great against Washington.
Singletary looks great. With 26 on, he looks like Saquon, even
For
better.
real.
It's the
A
whole
little smaller, but whatever.
with Tyrone Tracy waiting in the back. I think our run game will be fine. I'm not worried about it. Daniel Jones is our biggest problem, and it's a big problem.
We had a
have to
Graham
overcome.
Gano problem
But
this past Sunday. All
Yeah,
right.
that-
We had
yeah,
a Graham Gano problem this past
I don't know.
Sunday.
I don't know if Daniel Jones was such a huge problem. When he connected with neighbors that whole game, they look great. That's what you got to do. You have a number one receiver. Give it to him. But I tell you, I'll give coaching staff a lot of credit with how they got neighbors open that entire game. They really did a great job calling out plays for him, and Jones like doing the right thing and getting him.
Delivering. I mean, and Wendell catches a touchdown. He's clearly
really
well,
bad.
you know what, Vin? A lot of criticism came your way too with the drafts. You know what? Wendell's not having a bad year. You know what I mean? If you look at what he's done already so far, he has a touchdown. Well, he had a touchdown all of last year.
He's
You
open.
know what I'm saying? He got a touchdown already.
Wandale's open a lot too.
Dude, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's shit that I'm seeing with this team and the way that this whole fucking just year in general has been. I don't know if I'm necessarily hitting the panic button just yet. I know it sounds crazy,
Yeah, but
I'm the one that usually does. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know yet. I'm not convinced yet.
Yeah, but we haven't gone against a really good secondary. I don't think Minnesota secondary is anything special.
Did you see what Minnesota did against the 49ers this past weekend?
They just kicked the shit out of them.
I took them in Survivor, and I should have went with my gut. I should have known. I'm like, Minnesota beat them last year on like a Sunday night.
I also remember somebody saying the last time that the 49ers, they were going to be like a 5-point favorite.
I lost money on that.
And then one of you guys said that they were going to be like a 12-0 or something.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I edited that part out of the last week's podcast, so you won't ever
I
hear
hope
that.
you did. Right now, you just hear, wah, wah.
You hear a long fart noise when I talked about that. Yeah, I lost a lot of money last week.
Didn't take the Raiders to cover. I didn't think they were going to win, but I was like, I'll take. And you guys looked at me like I was retarded. I was like,
yeah.
Over here.
Fucking Saints. Saints, they're scoring like 100 points a game.
Whoop Dallas's ass. The way I thought the Dallas was going to whoop their ass, but okay.
I want to do get in the picks. Like, real. Are you going to stay around doing the picks, Vin? After we talk about Bryce Young?
So, Mike, why don't we take a quick commercial break and we'll come back and we'll talk about this fucking whatever trade bullshit that they've been talking about.
All right, we'll be right back on the BBO NYG podcast. All right, we are back on the BBO NYG podcast. I'm Mike. That's Jules. Special guest Vin back in the building. It's going to be here for the rest of the year, apparently. Guys, Bryce Young.
All good, baby.
Yeah, we love Vin when he's on. Actually, a special friend of ours, I'll call him special, Malarzik, wanted to come on next time Vin was on. You got to let me know. I'm like, no, I'm not going to let you know. So I'm going to send him the link.
Matter of fact, he's actually blowing up my phone right now because a big trade apparently went through in fantasy football. Guys hitting the panic button already.
Illegal.
Everybody was sitting there wondering, like, why are you talking about fantasy so much? It's supposed to be a Giants podcast. No, but it just fucking happens that's all I hear about fucking 24/7. But anyhow.
Veto all trades. All right, so the rumor going around now, of course, like Bryce Young gets benched. And the second he got benched, I knew right away that some morons on Giants Twitter are going to be like, Giants shown should fucking trade for him. I'm like, have you not watched Bryce Young fucking play since he's been in the league? I understand, like, he doesn't have a lot of weapons and all that. But this past week, my man only got pressured twice, like the whole game. They protected his little ass the majority of the game, and he still sucked. Like, dude, sometimes you're a bust. You know, that's just the way the NFL is. And to be honest, I feel bad for the kid, but he's a bust. We're not going to trade a second-round pick for him. You morons, like, you have to stop. We're not going to take another team's garbage and expect Dable to fucking turn him into something. You know what I mean? Just stop. Enough with that bullshit. I couldn't believe but I knew I was going to see it.
Honestly, I couldn't even wrap my fucking head around it, all right? Like there was this other guy, and I'm going to call him out because I actually go back and forth on him, DMing him straight out. Because I was like, I've actually watched some of his content on YouTube. His name is Marshall Green. I forget what the fuck his show is.
Oh, he's an idiot.
But Marshall Green, for the first time, was really adamant about this trade. He wants to give up a conditional second-round pick for Bryce Young, who just got benched for fucking Andy Dalton. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, how does that even remotely make the Giants better? And you're giving up a fucking second round pick for him. I'm like, I'd rather ride and die with fucking Daniel Jones before I do any kind of idiotic fucking move like that. Are
They
you
bet you
fucking
for the
kidding
Red
me?
Rooster?
Oh, dude, it's pathetic. I mean, like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, it makes no
Is that his
sense.
name? Is that his nickname, Jules? Is that the Red Rooster?
The Red
The Red-
Rifle.
The Red Rifle?
Yeah.
Ah, that would make more sense.
I think he was a rifle back in like TCU, and now he's a rooster. I can't even keep up with it. But literally, that's what this kid got benched for.
You can
You know
see
what
his
I'm
red
saying?
pubes come out the cup.
And then Mike, this guy, this is another name I'm just gonna throw out there real fast. This is a big favorite of yours. San Francisco traded up for him. You were
Oh.
fucking hyped. You know what I'm saying? Trey
Trey
Lance.
Lance?
Like, what the fuck's one of these days?
Ah, I love Trey
Get out
Lance.
of the field, Dak. I was thinking they wanted to put him out there with a blowout. They were still like, nah, Dak, you gotta get back out there, bro.
Even I fuck
You know
up
what I
with the
mean?
quarterbacks.
No, like it happens. Like people think that like if you take one of these top quarterbacks, you're guaranteed to now have a franchise fucking, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, and that's it. All right. Like it doesn't work like that. There's bust in the draft. Like the fact that this dude was sending out this kind of content, I think he lost fucking subscribers because that shit was so bad. All right. It's like, dude, like, why would you even bring that up? It makes zero sense. Like, is he gonna kick and play defense still? Is he
That's
all of a sudden gonna be able to
misinformation.
cover a fucking tight end? Like, what the fuck, man?
That's misinformation, Jules. You got to
Yeah,
watch.
for real. Like for real. Like
Make it
when I
all fair.
first saw it, I ignored it, but then like I just kept seeing it pop up, like all over.
Yeah,
fucking
it's nonstop.
Twitter and this and that. I said, what the fuck? How are people entertaining this? For the most part, it was a lot of people being like, "This is the dumbest shit I ever saw in my life. Why would you even fucking bring this up? Like, what is that gonna do?" Because like one dude tried to break it down, and he came over the train, and he was just like, he brings him over there, and you know what? Maybe David could get something out of him. And if after a year and a half he does it, we go get Arch Manning. And it's like,
Like it's that
you
easy.
playing a video game?
Like should we ask Vin? Like, let's see if Vin has any common sense. Vin,
Yeah,
would
no,
you do
I
that?
told you guys I don't want Bryce Young, and now for second round.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He just got benched. If they're looking to trade him, they should trade him really low. I don't think anybody's even remotely thinking anything above a 6th rounder at this point. You know what I mean? One of those low picks.
For some reason, Carolina wanted to dump him and fucking like take a 6th round pick on a flyer.
Like he's actually
and he's our backup now. Okay, cool. You know what I mean?
can get released. But I'll say this though. Situation matters, and that owner has had some bad coaches from Matt Rule. He fired what was his name that he was on Indy? Frank Reich. Like the owner Tepper is a hothead. He don't know what he's doing. The team is not very good. They got rid of McCaffrey. They got rid of they had talent there. Brian Burns, like they not saying anything special there. So, but
not yet, at least.
Right. We'll see.
I will say this. There are, just to put this in your brains, there are 2 guys that with the right situation have thrived. And I don't think they're anything. That's Geno Smith, who came from 8 years before he popped off with Seattle. Fuck it. Everybody in this room thought Seattle was going picked first in the next draft. Geno Smith is in. Oh my God. Like they gave that dude an offense. He's got a nice arm. Where he got himself a contract and he's a pretty good starter, middle of the road starter. And another guy that's really like a surprise to me. I know he's first overall. I thought he was a bust. Baker Mayfield. How about Baker Mayfield? Like these are 2 guys. Let me give you a third one. Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's another one. Like these are guys that, have been through a lot. They've become some seasoned vets now. If the situation is right, to your point, Jules, about coaching, if there's a team with some weapons, some protection, Bryce Young, I'm not saying is that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is if the situation is different, maybe, just maybe. Remember, Alex Smith with San Francisco wasn't very good till Jim Harbaugh came to town. Then Alex Smith had a career. You know what I mean? So
it's just one though. I feel you with Baker because Baker is having a really good run in Tampa right now. But he also had a good run in Cleveland. He should have beat Kansas City. But no, NFL fucking loves Pat Mahomes.
Here we go.
But yeah, I think it does have a lot to do with it. But very well, I think Bryce Young has shown every indication that he will be a bust in this league. I can't. What about Gino? I said the same thing about Gino.
And you know what it is like too? Like people forget it takes time for quarterbacks to develop. Not everybody's gonna be CJ Stroud. I mean, that kid's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? He developed it. It took him a couple of games. He got in it, and then now they put the team around him, and you're ready to fucking roll. That doesn't happen always. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it doesn't happen all the fucking time. I mean, let's look at the top fucking 3 picks of this year's draft. Khalid Williams and Jaden Daniels haven't even thrown a fucking touchdown pass in 2 weeks. Could you imagine if either one of those assholes were in fucking New York right now? You know what I'm trying to say? Oh, you know, we're gonna throw a fucking touchdown pass for 2 weeks in a row. And then Drake May hasn't even sniffed the field yet.
That's the right way.
Top 3 fucking picks.
That's the right way to do it. The way New England's doing it. You have Brissett out there. Give Drake May the clipboard. I think NFL teams need to do more of that. Do what Green Bay does. Do what Green Bay.
Bring it back old school. Look at Jordan Love. Jordan Love sat on the bench for what, 4 seasons? You know what I mean? Like, and now look at him. You know, obviously got hurt, unfortunately, but he'll be back. He's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like people forget that shit was what made quarterbacks learn.
Mahomes
Mahomes sat for his first fucking year, dude. Like, it's not a bad thing, but because there's so much hype and there's so much fucking emphasis on these picks, and Khalid Williams is like, oh, we're gonna hype him up too, everybody. All right, like.
Point, Jules, quarterback play has never been worse in this league. I feel like quarterbacks are underdeveloped, don't know what they're doing. It's because they're thrown at 20 years old, 21 years old. They're thrown on an NFL offense. They're in usually a bad situation, and they
a team that barely had won like maybe 4 games the year before.
Yeah, and you know
what I mean?
You're going off of an anomaly. Herbert was good his rookie year. CJ Stroud was good his rookie year. There's only a couple of guys. Peyton threw like 30 interceptions his rookie year. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, don't forget Herbert. Herbert only came in because Tyrod Taylor, of all fucking quarterbacks, had a fucking fluke injury week 2. Whereas like fucking where he got like a lacerated kidney or some wild shit.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that forced the Chargers to have to play Herbert. You know what I mean? Or else he was chilling on the bench too. So there are some franchises that realize it, that you can't just throw these guys into the fucking wolves and expect results. Sometimes it happens. Most times it doesn't. And that's the thing. I'm not saying that Jaden's going to be a total bust or Khalib's going to be a bust. You know what I mean? But like that's a reality there. I told you guys that Sunday night game, there was fucking no way Houston wasn't going to beat them.
Did Lamar Jackson sit? He sat, right?
Yeah, he came in late in the season.
Yeah.
After Joe Flacco got hurt, or they were frustrated. He came in and he just ran all over the fucking place, and they ended up winning that game, and they ended up making the playoffs or whatever they did that year.
I think
so like even he sat, man. Everybody that we're talking about, with the exception of maybe CJ Stroud, Josh Allen, and I know I'm probably missing 1 or 2 quarterbacks at this point. Aaron Rodgers sat, right? He sat behind Brett Favre.
Josh,
you know what I mean?
His rookie year. He sucked his rookie year.
Josh did, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Josh wasn't that good. Peyton Manning came into the league. His fucking only terrible year, except for the year that he had the really fucked up neck, was his rookie year. Yep. You know what I'm trying to say? Even Eli Manning sat behind Kurt Warner for half a season.
And we were 5-3 before he came in.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
good team.
Like, yo, you
had a good team.
Let these guys get more time to develop. It's crazy.
I agree. I 100.
Now we're on
a crazy tangent, but we did cover a little bit of the NFL. We might be segueing into that pick a second. I don't know yet. What do you think, Mike?
Listen, let's go. I mean, quarterbacks, like, they come out early now too, which just it makes it even fucking worse because they hype them up. The media hypes them up way too much, and then people get behind it and they just expect like way too much out of these kids. They got to learn the fucking playbook of the NFL. It's a different game. It's so much faster. People don't get it.
Take a guy that I'll stand by. I'm surprised. I am shocked that Trevor Lawrence is playing at the level he's playing at. Okay, because I remember watching that game, and I can't remember who the opponent was. But I was out on Saturday, out for college football, enjoying, having a good time. And all of a sudden, I was in a Clemson bar in Manhattan. And all of a sudden, like, they're all hyped up. They're fucking going crazy. We're going national title this year. The ball's exploding. And that quarterback, whoever the fuck it was, because that's how great it was, because you don't even remember who that quarterback was, got hurt. And in comes this fucking pretty boy with blonde hair down to his fucking shoulders. And he looks like fucking sunshine. He throws his fucking helmet on. This motherfucker comes in and starts lighting these dudes up. And you're like, what the fuck is this dude? Trevor fucking Lawrence. And after that, like, Bro, I saw him bitch up fucking Chase Young in a championship game where he fucking shook the shit out of him and was laughing at him. And Chase Young was supposed to be that dude at that point in time. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this fucking kid's gonna be a legend. And then I don't know, Urban Meyer, Jacksonville, and shit fucking destroyed him. And now I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be that GOAT.
It's football, man. You never know what quarterback's gonna happen. Like Vin said, like all of a sudden Sam Darnold and these guys are playing great. It's probably just the NFL is fixed. All right. Speaking of that, we got to bet. We've got to start. We got to do the pick segment.
So how great did we do last week?
We don't want to talk about that because it wasn't so good. Yeah,
Did we
sure.
get like at least 4 right?
Let's bring it back. We need to bring it back. Let's do it real quick. I don't want to go for 2 hours on the podcast
Yep.
again. Pick segment got to be real quick. All right, so the first game Thursday night, Jets are at home. They're -6.5 against New England. I love the Jets. Fuck New England, they stink.
Yeah, Vin.
New England might keep it close just because the New England Jets haven't hit their stride yet. So I'm gonna take the Jets will win, but I'm gonna take New England to cover.
Yeah, almost with Vin on that, but like then again, it is their home opener. They owe the fans a big one, and they haven't looked good. If they don't get right against New England, the Jets gonna be in for a long season. I think they squeak out a cover.
Okay. All right, there you go. All right, 1 o'clock games. Indy, which they lost to the backup Malik Willis in Green Bay. What a shitty game. I knew that game was like a weird line because Indy was favored by 3 and Green Bay won outright like everybody else did. But Indy's at home now. They're playing the Bears. Caleb Williams. Indy's
I'll tell you the truth.
1.5.
I like Indy, believe it or not, and just simply because they're an 0-2 desperate team that was supposed to be better. And AR-15 was back. They were supposed to roll, and they're not. And you know what? You're really gonna fucking think Caleb throws his first touchdown? Is that because the Bears want to look good on defense? All right, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know what? So the Colts are good enough on defense. I honestly think the whole team wins their home opener to save their season at 0-2.
Ben?
This was a tough one because the Bears defense is really good. But Indy's 0-2. I'm still gonna go with the Bears. I think the Bears defense is really tough right now, and I don't think Indy has enough. I don't think they have enough offensive firepower to do anything.
I tell you, I was watching that Sunday night game with Caleb, and he's just like he's overthrown guys. A couple wide receivers on that team. I think DJ Moore was frustrated with him because he was overthrowing him. He just don't look that great, and when he tries to scramble and make plays, he's not good. Defenses just catch up to him. I got to go with Indy. So moving on. Here we go. In Cleveland, I think, Ben, you're going. Cleveland is -6.5 against us.
Man, you since you're actually going, you get to start this one for sure.
Okay. Giants, New York Football Giants will get their first victory on the Cleveland Browns in the dog pound. The Giants are going to come in. They're going to have a game plan. Malik Neighbors will open the offense up for guys like Wandale on the seam routes. I think we'll see a Theo Johnson touchdown. I think we're going to run the ball. The Cleveland defense is very tough up front. That Myles Garrett guy is a problem. But I'm hoping this is a get-right game for the Giants defense. I think Burns, Thibodeau, Dex, up front, Bobby O, they're going to have to play well. I think, might come down to a field goal, might be close, might be overtime even, but I think the Giants win.
Dude, yeah, you go, you're saying.
Listen, I'm hoping the Giants win. It's going to be tough. Like it could be like a get-right game because the offense started playing better. I just worry about the defense. I mean, the way Cleveland has that offensive line and they run the ball, dude, they could literally run the ball down our throats if we're not going to tackle and stop the run. And it could be a long day for us. I mean, I'm taking the Giants with the points. I'm hoping for an upset. I'm hoping we get right, but I mean, who the hell knows at this point?
I mean, look, Jerome Ford, Dante Foreman, they could fucking carve us up for 200 yards if they want to this fucking coming Sunday, all right? I mean, you might be in there, they're gonna be barking at you and shit, all right? Like real simple, it could be. Or the Giants can pull out their fucking dicks, throw it on the fucking table,
Let's
Go
go.
into Cleveland and pull off the upset while you have fucking half another survivor pool getting knocked out because they're all fucking taking Cleveland this week. So I hope you motherfuckers do it because that's going to be a terrible survivor pick. The Giants are going to come in and they're going to fucking win that game. All right?
Big game for Bobby O'Creaky. He's going to have like 20 tackles. Watch.
Listen, we're going to win this game because they got a good defense, but they ain't that fucking impressive either. They got shellacked week 1 by Dallas, and they squeaked out one at home against Jacksonville, who's 0-2. So whatever, bro. Just what I was saying about Trevor Lawrence, maybe I was just doing that on purpose because I was leading into this. Fuck Browns, all right? And I'm not Homer because guess what? If we do look bad, then that's it. Our answer's there. We know it's over, all right?
Yeah.
But I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. When you put these teams in the NFL and they're completely desperate, shit happens. That should be the Super Bowl for the Giants. And if they don't come out like that, then fuck them. Period's done. All right. I'm over talking about the Giants for this week.
All right. Moving on. In Tennessee, Tennessee's -2.5 against Green Bay.
Tennessee -2.5 against Green Bay. I want to say Green Bay so bad. I just do. Like, I don't know. But like Tennessee's another one. Aren't they 0-2?
They're garbage.
They're team. They're 0-2. It's Malik Willis. I think they're going to just fucking stack 9 in the box and be like, beat us. Really beat us. And I think Tennessee, they played well against the Jets. I like Tennessee.
I do too.
I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to take Green Bay just because they're home.
Tennessee's the home team.
Tennessee's the home team.
Yeah, they're -3 out. 2.5, you said, right?
-2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, I kind of like the home team too.
Bro, and that's another one where everybody's rolling with Green Bay. It's fucking, bro. They came with a good game plan. And LaFleur's gonna have to come up with another one. All right.
Yeah,
don't work.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be successful. All right, next game in New Orleans. They score 100 points a game. They're 2-0. They're 2-0. They're -2.5 against the Eagles.
Woof.
That's gonna be a game. That's gonna be a game. Let's go Saints.
Should be a fucking shootout. There should be one that we've been fucking obviously like being deprived of all season. The old under over I believe is already at 50. And it's got to be one of the highest under overs I've seen all season. I know it's a short year, well, fucking week 3. But yeah, man. And we'll see what this Eagles team is actually made of. If they can pick themselves up off of an embarrassing Monday night loss and go in and beat the fucking Saints at home, on the road, that says a lot about that team. I don't know how good the Saints team is. I mean, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to go with the Saints because it's hard to go against them. If Carr is really playing this fucking fire, I mean, you got Rashid Shaheed fucking lighting it up on one side. They haven't even really let Olave go, and Kamara looks like he's 5 years younger. You know what I'm saying? And that defense is fucking serious. Like, man, they don't have A.J. Brown. I could see why the Saints are favored.
I think Philly's wounded. I think it's a short week for Philly. I think this is a get-right game for Philly and New Orleans, a letdown game. But you look in the eyes of Derek Carr in both these games. He's talking shit. He's like, I just put 3 on you in the count. He's a menace right now. And that New Orleans dome is going to be nuts, like Drew Brees nuts. I think Derek Carr is on one this year. I don't know what's he on, but he's on it. And I think they're going to, not only they're going to beat Philly, I think they're going to beat the brakes off of Philly. I really do. I think, and I always pick Philly. In these pick'ems, I always pick Philly. I just think the Saints are the hottest team in the NFL right now. That offense is going. You could score on them. The Saints defense is good, but it should be, like Jules was saying, a high-scoring game. But I think Derek Carr is on until he gets an interception and then rattles him. I'm like, this dude is going right now, and he's throwing it all over the field.
Dude, if you saw Kirk Cousins carve him up on Monday, could you imagine what he does at home? Woo!
All right, check Kamara for steroids. All right, moving on.
For real.
At Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is -2.5 against the Chargers. I think Herbert's hurt. He got rolled up on. Fuck Pittsburgh. I'll never bet them. Screw them. They cost me piss 2 weeks in a row. I'm going Chargers. I don't care who their quarterback is.
I agree. Pittsburgh keeps games close, but the Chargers are playing hardball ball. They are running. I think Pittsburgh meets their match just because the Chargers play that sort of physical style of football now.
Listen, I still need Herbert there. So like that for my pick is a TBD. If Herbert plays, I like the Chargers. If he doesn't, I think the Steelers are gonna be tough.
Who's
They
their
could stop the run. They could stop the run.
Who's the backup there?
Is it fucking? I think there's like a weird name. I forget.
Easton or some shit.
Yeah, but it was like right, like Tommy Easton or some bullshit. Like, yeah, I don't fucking know. Like
They'll just run the ball down the
Clint Easton. You know, I don't fucking know.
Clint Easton would. All right, so whatever. We'll take the Chargers. Moving on. The game of the week in Minnesota. Sam Darnold against Houston. Houston is going on the road in Minnesota, and Houston is -2.5. It's gonna be a good one.
This is gonna be a good one. I'm told you I'm riding Houston. I'm riding Houston all year. That's my kind of not a sleeper because it's not really that much of a sleeper, but that's my kind of underdog AFC team that I'm gonna be pulling for. Like I was pulling for fucking Detroit last year. It's Houston this year. I love Stroud. I like that kid. I've always liked Joe Mixon. Fucking Nico Collins is making me eat crow because I thought they were gonna be spreading that ball, but that kid's fucking turned into a monster. You know what I'm saying? And take Dell's there. Yeah, Diggs, whatever, but you know what I mean? That team is good. That coach is good. I like the Texans.
Ben?
I'm a little worried about Mixon's injury. I also have him on fantasy. What they're in Minnesota. What's the line again?
2.5. Houston's favored by 2.5 in Minnesota.
I'm gonna say Minnesota covers. It's gonna be close. It might even go to overtime or something.
Yeah, that's a toss up. Flip of the coin for me. I have no idea. You know what I mean?
You got both of us picking opposite sides too.
Yeah, I'll just go with Houston because fuck Minnesota. They beat us, so I don't want to see them win. So screw them. But I want Justin Jefferson to do well and play. So he's like a little banged up, but it looks like he's
right. I forgot about that. He's a little banged up. Yeah,
hard issue.
He should play though.
So and I think even what's his name? Their running back. He's fucking a little nicked up too because all of a sudden Ty Chandler about to run that spot. Quick fantasy drop there.
Okay.
Aaron Jones.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. All right. So your choice, people. All right. Next game at Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield. They're -6.5 against Denver. Denver comes to town.
Dude, I know I've been preaching this 0-2 and desperate teams on the road and all this kind of shit, but I don't know about you guys. I don't see it with Bo Nix. Not yet. All right. Javonte Williams looks fucking lost in the sauce. Yes, they have a really good defense. So this is going to be a true test for Baker. You know what? Honestly, I don't know if they cover. That's the problem. I'm a little torn on this game because I want to roll with the Bucks. Might take them in Survivor, but I could see where that defense keeps it close. Oh man, it's a lot of wood, man. It's a touchdown. That's just got me a little concerned. I don't know if the Bucks are that good, but they did just come off for beating fucking Detroit. I'll roll with the home team that's hot. Fuck it. Give me the Bucks and Baker.
Me too.
Upset alert. Denver.
I said everybody gets knocked out of the survivor pool for the Browns and fucking the Bucks.
How many upsets we had last week? We got it. We're not picking upsets here. Upset. This is it. Denver. Sean Payton always starts off a little bit slow. Maybe he gets something going here, a run game going with McLaughlin and Javonte and get some points up there and win a close game.
All right. So last week was upset central, right? And Vegas knows that. So now they're going to have everybody betting on upsets this week. And you know what's going to happen? All the favorites are going to win.
Yeah, I'm a sucker.
You know what I mean? That's I'm telling you. I mean, that's what happens. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm gonna be betting. I'm gonna be betting hard on the favorites this week. I'll probably be wrong, and then I have to take out another loan. But whatever, shit happens. That's what gambling's so much fun. All right, next game. Moving on in Vegas. Speaking of gambling, at Las Vegas, they're playing the Red Rooster. Carolina fucking Panthers come to town. 5.5.
I mean, that's a lot. That spread should go down as the week continues. I guarantee by kickoff it's around 3 because everybody's going to be riding the Red Rooster and say that he'll turn Carolina around and he'll be better than Bryce Young. It was all his fault and Vegas isn't that good and blah, 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 blah. But until Carolina shows me something, they fucking suck.
They stink.
I will go Vegas and the bet is all Vegas.
I got Vegas. Absolutely.
Everybody got Vegas. All right, moving on. In Seattle. Speaking of Geno Smith before, Ben, Seattle's -5.5 against Miami, which unfortunately lost Tua last Thursday night to a concussion. Just brutal to see him on the floor with his hands twitching again. Such a shame, man. Yeah, I got to roll with Seattle. I don't know who the backup Miami is, but
Skylar Thompson.
all right,
I
Seattle.
have no faith in him. I have fucking Hill and Waddle for fucking good stock on a couple of teams. Fucking Skylar Thompson, huh?
That sucks.
God, that's gonna be pathetic. Huh? And if upset century happens, it'll be there, but most likely it's not, and the fucking fades is just gonna roll. Seattle, baby.
Ben,
I would think Miami will run a shame. Hello? I would think Miami will run, but I am going to take Seattle with the points.
okay, yeah, Seattle is rolling with them. All right, next game in Arizona.
Yeah, Seattle with points.
In Arizona, next game, Detroit goes into Arizona. Detroit's only -2.5 against Arizona. I love Detroit this week, and I love them getting back on track. And I'm betting that game at 4 o'clock. Whatever I'm down or wherever I'm up, I'm just throwing everything on that game. That's the game Detroit gets right.
That they get right bet too. So I'd be like down like fucking $10,000, like fucking 10 grand out of fucking Detroit, baby.
Seriously, I might go crazy like that. I love Detroit this week. I think they're gonna whoop them.
Man.
Yeah, I agree. You sold me. I think Detroit.
I mean, they got to get right. If they don't, then I don't know. That shit was a fluke. So yeah,
they're too good. They're too good of a team
for that reason.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Brown's a little nick, but we'll see. The kid Jameson Williams is playing good. Like that team's got to get right at some point. You know what? Giants winning their last season and fucking won in Arizona. They can fucking do
right.
it.
Yeah, that's the bet. All right, next game. San Fran coming off that loss. They're -7.5 against the Rams, but the Rams lost Cooper Kupp. So
the week before.
So that could be I don't know.
Stafford's looking a little lost in the sauce behind that line of scrimmage.
It happened.
But the 49ers did lose Deebo Samuel.
True.
He's not playing this week. So, like, you know, they got that Jurgens kid stepping up. I mean, listen, Ayuk hasn't really done much. He's been quiet. He got a fucking huge contract. This could be that game where Ayuk fucking goes off. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, they still have Kittle. Kittle was fucking great last week. You know, and then the kid Mason's been fucking filling in for CMC like ain't nobody's business. So I think the 49ers got to get right. It's just a little, I just hate the fact that they're on the road, but you know what? Teams win on the road all the fucking time. And we said we're going favorites because Vegas has got to fucking level shit out. So 49ers.
I don't think if I'm the 49ers GM, I don't pay anybody. I don't pay CMC because I got Jordan Mason. I don't pay Luke because I or I have Kittle. I don't pay any of these guys. They just keep Brock Purdy. He's looking for a contract. I wouldn't pay his ass either. I would just find somebody else. With Jimmy Garoppolo.
Sure.
You know, that run scheme that Shanahan employs is awesome. But with that said, I think that line is way too big, and I think we get a cover
with the Rams. Huh?
Yeah, I think the Rams will run Kyron Williams 40 times this game. I think they'll find a brand new superstar in the pass game, whoever that may be, DeMar in there. They'll find somebody.
Robinson's been in the league long enough. Maybe that kid Thompson, but that's kind of it, dude.
Yeah,
I think Atwell's another one. Little fucking midget's been in the league for 30 years. He still sucks.
I still say Niners win, but I think the Rams will give them a game. I think the Rams will be close.
I don't think the Rams would be able to stop it without Aaron Donald there anymore. It's just a different defense, man. People could score on them. I gotta go with San Fran with a blowout. All right, moving on. Baltimore is going in Dallas. It's just a pick 'em.
This is a game. This is
a game.
This is it.
Man.
I mean, this game is a pick 'em for a reason. Everything I just said earlier throughout this whole time is fucking pick 'em segment of an 0-2 desperate team. Could you imagine the reigning MVP starts off the season 0-3? How fucking good is he? How much fucking MVP is that? You know what? They suck all Kansas City and Mahomes and Reed and can't get enough of the Swifty shit. But then you give an MVP to this guy who comes back with supposedly a better team and they start off 0-3? Woof!
Because Lamar ain't running the ball like crazy anymore because he can't. Team's got him figured out, man.
You want to save Derrick Henry for later in the year. But I could kind of see, and it's going to make Jerry Jones, going to make the Cowboys go bananas. This should be that game where they fucking force feed the fuck out of Derrick Henry. so that they can start setting up the play action. They can start setting up, RPO for fucking Lamar, and they got to attack Dallas like that. Dallas has a team. They got a good D. It's going to be a fucking crazy one to watch. I mean, dude, I think Baltimore has to take it.
I think Dallas gonna win.
Man.
I got Baltimore. I think Derrick Henry. Remember, Derrick Henry's pissed off. He bought a house in Dallas. He's pissed off. He was supposed to be in Dallas, so he didn't get signed by them. Ended up in Baltimore. I think Derrick Henry is gonna go off. He's gonna have a game. He's gonna have like 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. I think Baltimore wins.
Wow.
I honestly think because I can see it being like this one with Derrick Henry, where it's like that game where like if he's got to take the next 2 weeks off because he's a little nicked up, but he ran for 160 yards in this one, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
this has got to be that game. You know what I'm saying? It has to be. And like it's crazy to think that they'll both be at 1 and 2 if Baltimore wins. Like, you know what? Like I can't. I gotta go Baltimore. It's crazy. I don't know why.
mediocre league. It's a mediocre league. Everybody's 8.
Except for Kansas City. They're the greatest ever. They're gonna 3P. There's gonna be Taylor Swift all over the fucking place. She's gonna come out with a fucking chain that has a 3 on it.
Yeah. Speaking of Kansas City, Kansas City's -3.5 in Atlanta for the Sunday night game.
I'm gonna go last on this one.
I'll go first. Give me Atlanta with the points, man. Fuck it. I think it's a football game. I think it's gonna be close.
I'll go Chiefs.
Bro, I mean, I'm gonna be saying this for the next 20 fucking weeks. All right, repeat. It's gonna happen.
You know,
it's going to happen. It's 100% going to happen. But Kansas City's going to go into Atlanta and lose this weekend. Just cause. This way the NFL be like, see, it's not fixed. They're going to give that bullshit game. It's against an NFC team. It means absolutely fucking nothing. All right, except for a record. Okay, so what? Kansas City goes to 2-1. What do we fucking do? They're going to still beat the shit out of their division. They got to play Denver 2 more times. They're going to lose this game this week, so the NFL takes the heat off of the 3-peat. And don't worry about it, because in week 4, they're going to fucking demolish whoever they play. Atlanta, baby.
Let's go Atlanta. All right. Moving on. 2 Monday night games this week, guys. First game is in Buffalo. Buffalo's favored by 5.5 against Jacksonville. I hate those 5.5 spreads, man.
I hate that spread.
It's the worst. It's like
I hate that. You can't buy it up. You can buy it up, but then it's like, do you really want to? You know what I mean? What are you gonna buy it now? Fucking 3 points. Like, it's crazy. I hate it.
that's a game, Jules. You know what you do? You bet Buffalo money line and you bet Jacksonville with the points, and you win both bets. That's what it is. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna take Jacksonville just based off of what I said with the points.
Man, you what do you feel?
I agree. I take Jacksonville with the points.
This is where I gotta go against you guys. If this game was in Florida with the weather and it's still being hot as balls down there, I'd say, you know what? Shit, Buffalo better be on fucking upset alert. But it's up in Buffalo. They're used to that shit. They're riding high. They're in this hole. We're going to spread the ball around. We're going to go with the hot hand. We got Cook running like a fucking beast. We got Allen that runs like a beast. That defense has come together. They're a really well-coached team. The Jaguars look kind of lost. I got to go Buffalo on this. And watch, that would be Jacksonville wins this one. But that's okay.
All right. The last game is in Cincinnati. They're playing the Washington Redskins. Cincinnati's favored by 7.5.
They're going to win by 17. Okay?
Yeah, I think so too.
They're going to fucking smash this whack-ass team
I
and fucking two-pick Jaden Daniels, all right? Can't stand that motherfucker. We almost broke him in other games. He needs to learn how to fucking run, dude, or else his career is going to be fucking short this season, all right? Because that kid runs like,
We knocked him
180
out
pounds,
of
just
him.
6'5". All right, I think we're all in agreement there.
I think so.
Did we get enough best bet picks
Well,
in?
actually, who would you guys? Let's just do this. Who would you take as your survivor pool pick this week?
Oof. Yeah, man, I'll let you start.
I would have to look at them all.
I think I'm taking the Jets.
I took a
Thursday
win.
night, get it out of the way.
Yeah, I
I
think so.
took the Jets last week, so I can't. I keep going, but I took
did?
them one.
I think I'm gonna take them because you could take who's taking Indy? Who's taking the Giants? Tennessee, maybe. Saints, maybe. Chargers, I don't know. Houston,
Because that sucks. Because you know what?
Tampa Bay, maybe.
I want to take Texas because I want to say that I like them. That's who I feel strong about this week. However, I know Texas has some easier games later on in the season, so I technically don't want to use them. I'm trying to find other options. And
Vegas.
listen, it's still going on the road
Vegas.
into
Vegas,
Minnesota.
Vegas, Vegas, Vegas.
Vegas, okay. Against
Vegas.
Carolina. I went against Carolina twice already, so I can't take that. Seattle.
Oh,
Seattle's another one. They're at home against Miami,
Seattle's good.
So that could be one. I like the Jets.
until Skyler comes in and throws for fucking 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, and fucking Tyreek Hill has
right.
116
Wait,
and Waddle has 150 and 3.
Or hey, here's one. The Bengals. Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
That's my other one,
yeah.
Ben.
Hell
There you
yeah,
go.
Bengal.
I took the Jets. I took the Jets at Cincinnati. That's what I took.
There you go.
All right, well, listen, we wrapped it up. Like I said, Vin, thank you for coming on. Have a fucking blast out in fucking Cleveland. Wear a little fucking dog nose.
We're going
Giants fucking thing on.
We're
What was that?
game on Saturday, and then we're doing the Giants game on Sunday.
What game was Saturday?
Ohio State, Columbus.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
shit. Who do they play?
Marshall.
Okay. All right.
They were just in town. I said to Frank, I was like, "Yo, check if they're in town." He was like, "Yeah, they're in town. 12 o'clock game. Fox is
dope.
there." So
That's awesome. Now you got me really jealous.
we're gonna try to get Urban Meyer. We're gonna see if we could get Urban Meyer. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Get him out of one of the bars.
Yeah. He looks like he party. He did it with Jacksonville. You know?
Well, then listen, I expect fucking
We met
pictures
him in
of shit
Nashville.
going on and fucking sent to that group chat. All right, like for sure.
Yeah.
If you find Urban, let me know. Tell Urban I said what's up because I've met him before. He's all right. He's a crazy guy, but he's
Me
all
too. Me too. I met him too. Me, G, Nick. We met him in Nashville.
Listen, the way I'm gonna run this one out is like I said, stay optimistic. It's fucking week 2.
I agree.
If we had a kicker, we probably win, and we're in first fucking place. I have to say that again. We probably win, and the Giants would now be in first place. Would you feel the same way? You know, there's a fucking slogan going around. Are you fucking in the same? Do you feel as good as you did 4 years ago? Well, how about this? If the Giants would have fucking got a kicker, we would have won. We'd be fucking first place. How would that make you feel, right? So, like, you know what? Let's put some projections there. Look, if the shit hits the fan, give it one more fucking week. We're going to Cleveland. We look like week 1. Then fucking we wrap it up, all right? But stay optimistic for one more fucking week, dude. One more week, all right? Enjoy football. Enjoy fantasy. Maybe some of our bets hit. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.